Here's something that should concern every sales leader watching this. 70% of the buying journey is now complete before your salesperson ever gets a call. Let that sink in for a moment. By the time a CXO or procurement lead agrees to speak with you, they've already researched your competitors, read your reviews, talked to peers in their network, and in many cases already formed an opinion about whether you're worth their time. The world of B2B buying has fundamentally changed, and yet most sales teams are still running the same playbook they used 5 years ago. Today, I want to break down exactly what's changed, why it matters, and what the best sales teams in the UK are doing differently right now. Let's start with the self-informed buyer. 10 years ago, information was a competitive advantage. Buyers needed salespeople to educate them on products, on pricing, on market options. The salesperson controlled the narrative. That dynamic is gone. Today's CXOs and tech leaders have access to everything. Gartner reports, peer reviews on G2, LinkedIn posts from industry voices, analyst briefings, community forums. They are extraordinarily well informed before they ever agree to a meeting. What does that mean for you practically? It means the discovery call is no longer about educating the buyer. It's about demonstrating that you understand their world better than they do. It's about bringing insight they haven't seen yet, not a slide deck they could have found on your website. The best sellers I've worked with do the opposite. They walk in and say, based on what we are seeing across similar organizations in your sector, here are 3 challenges we expect you're navigating right now. Tell me if I'm wrong. That's the shift from information delivery to informed provocation. Here's the second major change, and this one catches a lot of teams off guard. In enterprise B2B, the average buying decision in 2026 now involves between 6 and 10 stakeholders, and they rarely all agree. You've got the CXO who owns the vision. You've got procurement who owns the budget conversation. You've got IT or ops who have to live with whatever gets implemented. And you've got legal, compliance, and finance who all have a veto somewhere in the process. The problem is, most sales teams only build one relationship, usually with the person who took the first meeting. That person becomes your internal champion. But if they can't sell the solution upward, sideways, and downward through their organization, the deal stalls. And it will stall at the worst possible moment, usually at legal or right before sign-off. So what do the best teams do? They map the buying committee early. They understand who influences the decision even when those people aren't in the room. They create content, business cases, and value narratives tailored to each stakeholder, not just the one who likes them. In the current market specifically, this matters even more. British buyers are thorough. They build consensus. They're unlikely to move fast without broad internal alignment. So if you're only focused on one relationship, you're building on sand. So let's get practical. What does this actually look like in the best teams I'm seeing across the UK right now? First, they lead with insight, not pitch. Second, they invest in multi-threading. Every account has a relationship map. Champions are supported with content they can use internally to build the case. Third, they play a long game on trust. The best sales leaders in the UK are showing up consistently on LinkedIn, at industry events, in conversations, not just when they have a deal to close. Fourth, they qualify harder, earlier. The worst thing you can do is waste 6 months chasing a deal that was never real. And finally, they treat the post-sale as part of the sale. In a trust deficit environment, a strong implementation, a smooth handover, and a proactive first review are worth more than any marketing campaign. None of this is complex, but it does require a shift in mindset from selling as a transaction to selling as a long-term relationship built on genuine expertise and trust. I'll be sharing more of these conversations weekly, covering sales strategy, AI in sales, the UK tech and telecom market, and how leaders are navigating partnerships and vendor relationships in 2026. If any of this resonated, I'd love to hear your perspective. What's the biggest shift you've noticed in how your buyers engage today versus 2 or 3 years ago? Myself, Somi. I lead strategic accounts at Product, and let's talk if you are looking to connect with leaders who are serious about AI, digital transformation, and the future of connectivity. Drop it in the comments. Let's make this a real conversation.